Rev up your engines!
Well, now the Tesla Cybertruck is facing a scrutiny as a Cybertruck accident results in a fatal flames and loss of life. Early morning in Baytown, Texas, 1:45 a.m., a Tesla truck got in a big accident, rolled over, and they haven't even identified who drove it because everything was all burned up. Cybertruck swerved off the parkway, and they don't know why, but it crashed. It ran into a concrete culvert and caught on fire. They couldn't even get the license plate or the VIN, once those lithium-ion batteries start on fire, and that has huge ones that weigh like 2,000 pounds. Bad things happen. Now, you can't blame Tesla's full self-driving features because the Cybertruck isn't equipped with it yet, so it's somebody actually driving it. Now, realize, unlike normal cars, once those things start on fire, you can't put them out easy. You pour water on them. Unfortunately, lithium, the water turns into hydrogen, H2O, which burns, and oxygen, which fuels the fire. That's just why they can burn for so long. First responders, what are they going to do? That thing's burning up. They can't go in there. I mean, really, if they're going to build these things, they should have some kind of fire retardant or some kind of safety thing to keep them from burning or keep them from starting on fire in the first place. Boats have all kinds of safety stuff, halon extinguishers inside. They really are going to need to do something about these electric cars burning up, some kind of a better safety system like turns the power off or floods it with inert gases so it can't start. They need to do something, that's for sure. They can't just let them go down the road and burn up and create problems. Well, here's an interesting one. In July of this year, Germany's EV sales sink 37%. The German government has ended the subsidies, and now the sales have gone down 37%. You can't just keep subsidizing this stuff forever. Because if you do, it's the old cash cow. They're all on the gravy train. They'll make crappy vehicles because it's all subsidized anyways. The government's paying for it. No, these things need to stand on their own. If they're not going to buy on their own because they're too expensive, guess what? The technology doesn't work. Make a different technology. Don't keep pushing something that's failed. As they say, don't keep throwing good money after bad. These companies that were going to make self-driving cars and self-driving taxis, right? A bunch of them have given up. Billions into the money pit. Guess what? In Germany, they're starting to give up on buying new electric cars because the government's not subsidizing it, making them even more expensive. And in the United States, we're not any different. Early this year in 2024, battery electric vehicle sales in the United States fell since COVID in 2020. Oh, it's the future. People are going to buy. The sales are actually starting to decline. People that want to buy them bought them. 50% of the people that are trading in their electric cars are trading them in for conventional gasoline, non-battery electric cars. Quite a few of them are actually going to hybrids, which makes more sense. Toyota hit the nail ahead on that. So, hey, they're going away from a fully battery electric vehicle to a hybrid vehicle. And if you buy a good one like a Toyota that can last for 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 miles, probably a pretty good idea, right? But the fully battery ones, it's a stupid idea, and as people are finally starting to realize, maybe it's not my cup of tea. Technology isn't ready. It's not there. Maybe one day it will. Maybe they'll have solid-state batteries that charge up fast. They don't have to be heated in the winter because the electrolyte will freeze because they won't have any electrolyte. Yeah, they're not ready for prime time. If you're thinking about buying one, my advice, wait and see what the future will bring. Look at all these electric car companies having problems. Well, Rivian, which has always had problems, it's still losing more than $32,000 for every electric vehicle they sell. Now, how a company can stay in business losing $32,000 on every car they sold is beyond me. Now, I realize that the Arabs have $3.5 billion investment in Rivian, so they got their oil money they've thrown into this thing. But there's only so long you can make cars and lose $32,000 a car while it's going down the road. Not sustainable. Even Ford Motor Company, they're going to build a bunch of electric vehicles in Oakville, Ontario. Well, now guess what? They changed their minds. Now we're going to make F-250, big old gas and diesel trucks there instead because they see the handwriting on the wall. People don't want these things. And Rivian, the only thing they make is electric vehicles, so they're kind of stuck in a corner. And if they're losing 32,000 smackers on every vehicle that they sell, they certainly can't do that forever. F-O damn says, I have no start after I ran out of fuel. I got 2017 Camry. I ran out of gas and it wouldn't start. The battery died after trying to start it. I was able to get the car and drive, and then it ran for 10 minutes and stopped. Now the car just starts and then shuts off. Gas pumps are inside the gas tank of a car now, soaked in gasoline. Sounds crazy, but it works. At least normally it works for quite some time if they have good pumps. The gasoline in your tank is what lubricates the fuel pump. The gas flowing through the pump is what lubricates it to keep it running smoothly. If you actually run out of gas, your fuel pump is now sucking air. And after a very short time of sucking air, it starts to burn out the inside bearings on the pump because they no longer have the fuel to lubricate them. If you actually did run out of gas, you try to start it a bunch of times. When you're trying to start it, that pump is sucking air. It will burn itself out. Now you say it starts and dies, starts and dies. That's typically what happens. Is it still pumps a little, but enough to get it started, but then it dies because it's not enough fuel to keep it running. You only got 58,000 miles. If you were lucky, it might have sucked a bunch of crud from the bottom of the tank and clogged up the filter. If you want to try changing the fuel filter, be my guest and try to change the fuel filter. But if that doesn't work, you're going to need a new pump. You want to have the pump lubricated all the time. This is what I tell people. Pretend a quarter of a tank or a little bit less is empty, and then go fill it up. Because if you wait until you actually run out of gas, you can destroy the fuel pump. Well, if you see all this stuff about green energy, and they say, we want green hydrogen. Now, hydrogen itself, most of the hydrogen that's made is dirty hydrogen. They make it from petrochemicals. After all, petrochemicals are just hydrogen and carbon in various weird configurations. So there's a lot of hydrogen there. Most of it is made from crude oil and stuff. So everybody says, well, let's make it green. Let's use solar panels to, create hydrogen from seawater and la, 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 la. Well, guess what? Who didn't expect this? The long-distance green hydrogen, when somebody makes it somewhere else and then ships it around the world, now they're finding out that those long-distance green hydrogen imports are going to be 5 times more expensive than they previously thought. It's the usual. They promise, like the windmills. Oh, these things will last 20, 30 years. Then you find out some of them are breaking in 5 minutes and some of them are breaking in 5 years. They don't last like they say. They don't generate the electricity they claim they will. And then when the truth comes out, gee, this stuff really doesn't work. And they've already found it out with the green hydrogen. They always claim this is going to cost this, you're going to save money. You don't save any money half the time. It's like these idiots saying, well, if we go to everything electric, you'll save money. No, you won't. Because if everything's gone electric, they'll just raise the price of electricity, right? It'll cost a whole bunch more money. And then there's schemes of, solar panels will save us. They don't generate all that much electricity. They cost a lot of money. I know people have used solar panels, and think of all those people in California. They were sold on them. They bought tons of them. And then the utility company said, we're not going to buy it back at this high price. Now we're going to pay you a low price for it. So they were assuming we put a solar panel in, we're going to get 20 cents a kilowatt hour selling it back. And then all of a sudden, we're only going to give you 5 cents. Look, the corporations control stuff. And if you think you're going to compete with them with some little solar panels and make money, dream on. It doesn't work, just like this green hydrogen. Oh, golly gee, it's 5 times more expensive than we thought. Now, if you didn't know about this, there are actually places out there where you can rent a garage bay by the hour. I did a video years ago on one in Houston. The guy had a couple of them that he had set up, and that you could go and use their lifts. They have a certain amount of equipment that you can use there. There's a lot of people that live in condos, apartments where they can't work on their cars. And some of them, there was a bunch of them in Houston that they did. And they didn't even allow you to work on your car in the parking lot. It was against their rules. Well, there are places out there that will rent you space to work on your car. There's one that's called Wingman Garage. Interesting, he's the wingman. He's going to help you, right? And you can rent the space by the hour. Now, because of their insurance regulations, you can't put your car in the lift and pick it up. They put the car in the lift and pick it up in the air for you for insurance reasons. Then you can work on it. That's just the way that it goes. You can't let people operate whether the lift falls over or something for insurance reasons. But once it's up in the air and it's safe, they have tools. They can help you. And I've met ones where you can actually hire one of the guys there to help you out for so much extra an hour if you want some help on doing stuff. And it's a pretty good deal for people. If you find one in your area, you want to work on cars, learn a little bit about it, you might want to check out in your area. If there are people that will rent garage space with lifts and tools by the hour. And then, I mean, if you get stuck, there's always guys working there. You can pay a little extra. They can help you out. And it'll save you a ton of money versus going to a dealer and paying $200 an hour to have your car worked on. You don't even know if they're honest about what they charge you. You're not going to cheat yourself, right? You're there working away. You're not going to say, well, this job really took 8 hours when it only took 2 because you did it and you pay for the 2. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.